Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Chattin 88. If you're just tuning in, that's great. Spending time with me is the best, 'cause every week we have a guest. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Chattin 88's at 8. My name is Curtis Labelle, and we're here at the lovely Vinyl Den located in Reggie, Alberta on Ross Street. It is a pleasure to be here with you this evening. We have a great guest, just like every other night that we are doing the show on Wednesday. But it's very exciting for me because I've worked with this gentleman personally. We're not going to dive right into him right now, but we'll talk about him and get him on board later. But I'm just so excited to have him here today. But before we do, we have a lot of things we have to cover. First up, we have, I should find some sort of theme for each of these segments, if you will. First up, we have top stories. So, yes, now that I have put my spectacles on, I'm going to take a quick little drink before we do it. Chattin 88. This is actually, it's not a full, it's not, there we go. Oh, trying to get it on the camera. Got to hold, you know what, product placement, right? Where you hold it is everything. All for water. Oh my goodness. I should feel like I should come up with top stories today on Chattin 88. All right. First off on the list here, as I read, sad to say, I'm very sorry. Sean Connery has passed. One of the most famous people that has ever walked this planet. And this is a few days ago, but I'm sure everybody knows this gentleman, not only just as an actor and as a phenomenal artist in the movie industry and in Hollywood, but for anybody that's really had a chance to listen to him do a documentary or, do an interview. He's very intelligent, and he's just somebody that I know everybody would want to listen to. Yes. The Times, he just had that sort of talking thing. It was just, anybody could listen to him. So let's take a moment for this gentleman and give him some respect. Thank you, Mr. Sean Connery. All right, top story. It's not really a story, but I do want to say last year, when we wrote Pawn in My Shade, I had such an ambition in order to think that I could win an award. And you see, I didn't. But I did submit it into the Junos, and it's interesting. I think and I truly believe this. I want to say, get your Junos in. The deadline is November 8th for the 2021 Junos. Even if you are just starting out, find the $65 or find the $100 or whatever it is in order to get it in. Submit whatever song you have, even if you just wrote it in your bathroom and you put it in. And I say that because I'm seconding a video that came out on social media about with different artists in the industry, different Canadians, and they were saying different reasons why you should submit your Junos. And truthfully, it's, what's the loss? $100? And maybe somebody will notice you. Who knows? Maybe you'll get nominated. Who knows? One of the things that I wish I could, I knew this person, but they were saying that they celebrated every time that they didn't get a nomination. They had a Juno party. So whatever you have to do in order to succeed in the industry. So get your nominations in to the Junos. Next up, SOCAN has announced their final 2019 financial results. If you're somebody like me who is a SOCAN member and you are an artist and you are registered and you're interested in that sort of the business aspect of things in the industry of music, please make sure that you take the time to learn it. Yes. SOCAN, check them out. Okay. Next up, in today's top stories, as was written here on my card, news down south. We have some neighbors who might have a new lovely leader. We'll leave it at that. All right. On this day, I don't know why I so go to this rhythmic piano piece, but on this day, 1963, on this day, the Beatles topped the bill at the Royal Variety Show at the Prince of Wales Theatre in London. On this day, 1966, Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys became the UK and US #1 hit after it was put into the charts on UK. On this day, 1970, David Bowie released his third studio album, The Man Who Sold the World. Very exciting. Well, there you know. On this day, the Police released Walking on the Moon, 1979. On this day. Did I say what date David Bowie released his third studio album? Did I say 1970 was the date for that? On this day, we're going to dedicate this one to the owner of the Vinyl Den. Mr. Bob Marley Matellia was baptized at the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. All right. That's all I have to say about that. On this day, I'm just going to play the chord. Mr. Elton John scored his 50th UK chart hit Sacrifice when it entered the charts. No sacrifice. Good tune. 1997, on this day, Shania Twain released her third studio album, Come On Over, which became the best-selling country music album by a female artist on this day. Isn't that exciting? All right, that's the end of that. Cheers to On This Day. All right, moving forward. Album of the week. This just in. So here's the album of the week. It is Talking Heads, the album Naked. Here we are. With a monkey on the top of it is the jungle. So on this we have A-side, Blind, Mr. Jones, Totally Nude, Ruby Deer, Nothing But Flowers. B-side, The Democratic Circus, which we should probably play for what is going on somewhere in the world right now. The Facts of Life, Mummy, Daddy, You and I, Big Daddy, and Cool Water, with a monkey on the front. It's actually a very pretty album. Thanks to one of our photographers who suggested this evening. Cheers to you. Naked, Talking Heads. All right, that was the album of the week. I don't have a theme music for that. Whoop, chords. Okay, that one's done, that one's done, that one is done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to sing a song for you. Yeah, I'm going to sing a song for you. This is, I wasn't going to sing a song, but because of our guest this evening, this is a gentleman who I've worked with, like I said previously, and he's a producer of mine, and he's produced three songs of mine. And this is one that I want to work with him, and it's kind of a work in progress, but this is one of his favorites. So I'm going to sing an original. Pardon me, this is called Tainted Wood. And it's about a piano. It's about this piano. Actually, this piano was a different color. And it's also about an experience that I've had. Real feeling of being true, like a high I can feel a room. The sound of laughs and cries from the light of a paper moon. Another set on the second hand plays the keys of a one-man band. Forget to hold the reins, and all the magic goes away. Smelling smoke and seeing stains, dripping wax against the grain. Smelling smoke and seeing stains, little bits of pain and grain. This tainted wood, the loneliness of a heartache with a drink in the palm of his hand, making friends with his neighbors, pushing notes on a one-night stand. Through the window of chrome, takes a place and he makes it home. Forget to hold the reins, and all the magic goes away. Smelling smoke and seeing stains, dripping wax against the grain. Smelling smoke and seeing stains, little bits of pain and grain. Smelling smoke and seeing stains, dripping wax against the grain. Smelling smoke and seeing stains, little bits of pain and grain. Backseat in an empty room with a glass full of liquid moon. Not taking no for an answer, writing songs like Tiny Dancer. Smelling smoke and seeing stains, dripping wax against the grain. Smelling smoke and seeing stains, little bits of pain and grain. Smelling smoke and seeing stains, dripping wax against the grain. Smelling smoke and seeing stains, dripping wax against the grain. This tainted wood. Grazie. Thank you. All right. I think that was great little segue into our guest for this evening. So this gentleman, I'm not going to say too much about him because I'm really excited to get him in here and to have him just to get going. So let's not waste any more time. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Curtis Phagoo. Oh, Mr. Curtis, are you there?
Curtis.
Hey, oh my goodness, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic. You look amazing. And in fact, you're really not too far from me, but you're within, you're far enough in COVID restrictions. Is that correct?
Do you like my record collection? I just acquired this all.
This record collection is absolutely amazing. It's astounding. But I might say you look amazing yourself, my friend. You are all dressed up with your lovely cap and your attire, and you have your guitar ready there with you.
I do.
How are you, my dear friend?
I'm doing really well, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, Curtis, what we're going to do is I just want to dive right in and get everybody on board here with who you are. I know who you are, and you're a dear friend of mine. We go way, way back. And for those of you who are wondering when I say way, way back, I mean we're I don't know. We're both like I guess we're close to a 40 in age, but we go back to high school, and we've been in a few musical experiences together. But Curtis, take the stage, please, and tell us where you're from and just kind of where the music came from. Was it from your family, and how did it settle into your blood and into your veins? Take us through that.
Okay. Well, I'm from Red Deer. I grew up in Red Deer. Went to school here in Red Deer with you, Curtis, so many years ago. But music for me was never really a big part of my life until probably the very end of high school, and I started playing bass, and then I went to RDC playing bass, and then off to Grand McEwen, and I ended up in a country band and was shipped up to the White Horse, where I first started writing songs on a baritone ukulele.
Whoa! I have to stop you there for a second. So White Horse, I'm very familiar with White Horse myself. I have done a few shows up there for a few years.
Yeah.
What's your story up there in White Horse?
Well, we put together this country band because there was a singer. Her name was Gail Gardner, and she needed a band for a house gig. So we threw together a band, had a couple of weeks of rehearsals, and then went up there. And we played in the same room for 6 months, 5 days a week, at the 202 is what it's called. And that's kind of like a cut my teeth gig, you know. And, I got up there and I was just playing bass, but she decided to leave the gig like a couple weeks in, so it was just left with the band. So I ended up doing a lot of singing and singing harmonies. And from there we went to Inuvik for another 3 months, and that was like the beginning of what would be my music career, I guess. Yeah.
How long were you up in Inuvik for?
3 months.
Okay, so what's? I mean, wasn't that the new territory? What grade were we in when that was the new territory?
Oh, don't ask me social studies questions.
Social studies, right? I feel like that was okay. Inuvik. I remember having to draw it on the map. That feels like grade 7 for me. Grade 7.
You know what, man? It's really far north, and it's really cold, and the sun doesn't come up or the sun doesn't go down. Whatever, depends on when you're there. But it's a beautiful place, and it was a wild experience.
Yeah, I lived in Boston for a couple of years, so I got the sun up and sun down thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of creative for music, because I know that I've written a couple things. Experimented with having 24 hours of sunlight is very weird when you're an artist.
Yeah, no kidding. We would finish our gigs, like we'd play from like 9 till 1 in a bar every night. And then we'd open the door to go outside, and it would just be like noon. Like it was just, the sun was just beating down on you. And then you're trying to get to sleep. And yeah, it was a fun experience, but it's over.
Yeah, no, definitely had a lot of fun up there myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember, let's go back to the first time. Let's tell the audience the first time I remember you as a bass player. Now, I'm going to bring up Godspell.
Oh, yeah.
I remember seeing you. Now, this is because you played bass in the pit band, right?
Well, I'm going to make you a liar, Curtis. I did not play bass in Godspell.
Okay, now listen.
But I'll tell you what. In Godspell, I was the tech for the whole thing. The one and only tech.
Okay, now did you not, now correct me if I'm wrong again, I suppose, in the lobby of the school, because we did it at Notre Dame, so in the lobby, were you not sitting down there as a bum playing, just sitting there laying with the bass with other actors at some point?
Yes and no. I didn't have a bass, but I might have had a guitar, and but you couldn't see me because it was just my feet.
Then it must have been, I remember the instrument for sure. I definitely remember the instrument.
But you know what? I got to sing On the Willows in that show.
Yeah. On the Willows. I should do that song. We don't have the rights to it. What a great song. I can't believe I remembered that key. Stephen Schwartz, I love you, buddy. Oh, what a great song. Okay, speaking of Stephen Schwartz and singing and songwriting, let's move into singing and songwriting. So
Yes.
you, because I remember seeing you for the. Everybody's like, well, what was the point of that high school production of Godspell? Ladies and gentlemen, it's because I remember the instrument that this gentleman was holding. It was either a guitar or a bass, and we have clarified it was a guitar. But that was the first time I kind of had a memory of you. And lo and behold, here we are. And clearly, I obviously don't remember you doing tech for the show, and I'm very sorry.
Curtis, do you want to know my first memory of you?
I'm sure, and I'm sure everybody else does.
So I was walking through the library, and you were sitting at like a computer desk or something, and you're kind of like going crazy. And I walked over there, and you were writing like an orchestration of something. And you must have been like 16 years old, like grade 10, grade 11, I don't know. But I just couldn't believe this kid was like writing this music. And this was before I was even into music, but that's my first memory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's cool.
It's 23 years ago.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay, when you put it that way, perfect. Again, let's segue back into singer and songwriting. Yeah. So, just when did you decide to, I guess, go into the singing and songwriting, and take us down that journey, what it's been like for you? Because you, I don't want to talk about producing yet. We'll talk about producing in a moment, because that is a different avenue than singer-songwriting, but they're very close together because these are, it's very woven, this music hats that we wear, all these industries, in this industry. But for you as a singer-songwriter, what got you hooked into that? Where are you now with it? Because you have some amazing stuff, my friend. So tell us about that journey.
Sure. Well, like I said, I started writing songs when I was up in Whitehorse. So that would have been around 2002, I guess. And I think I got into writing songs mostly out of boredom, because I was up there and we didn't have anything to do but that gig. So I spent a lot of time in my hotel room and I started writing. But what really drew me into writing songs is the story.
Right.
I love the story of songwriting. I got into Paul Simon quite heavily, and late bloomer. Like I really didn't listen to any good music till after high school, after college. I was really into jazz for a while, but writing songs kind of took over because it was just a way for me to tell stories and be creative, and so I started writing songs then, and got a little kind of 8-track recorder thing and started making little demos and playing shows. My very first solo show would have been at the Velvet Olive many years ago, and I kind of got hooked by that. When a room like that would kind of come to a hush just to listen to something that I wrote, that was really encouraging for me. So,
right.
So I've been writing songs for the better part of 20 years now, and but I haven't done a lot of recording. I really haven't. I've done a lot of writing, and I really kind of.
But you do have an album.
Well, yeah, I have an album. I do.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to purchase this album, if you would like to purchase this album, you can, because I know that he has a box full of them ready to be sold.
Boxes,
plural.
Yeah,
right?
No, I made a record in 2011, and it's all original stuff, and I made that here in town with some of my best friends, and it was an incredible experience. And I've been writing a lot since then too. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, why don't you, what a great moment, or segue, I should say. Why don't you take us into your first song, and tell us what it is, what it's called, kind of a bit of backstory, when you wrote it, what it's about, and then take us into it. What we're going to do in order to give the focus to you as the artist, I'm going to get our technician to mute me and to stop, to turn off my video, and then it'll just be you that we can see. So I'll get him to do that now, and then you can take it away, Curtis, and tell us what it's about, what the name of it is, and sing away.
Sure. So this song, I wrote this song about 6 years ago, and I was just sitting in my living room, and I had this idea of like writing songs about the characters in a circus, and now I've been kind of known to write a twisted lyric here and there, but this was kind of the beginning of that for me. And I was talking with my roommate. He was downstairs. I was like, I got this idea. We were just texting because we're lazy. I was like, I got this idea for a circus song, and this song just kind of fell on me. I wrote this song in about 10 minutes, and this is called The Lion Tamer. Mama was a tightrope walker, and Daddy tamed lions for his cut. Well, she was up high, stringing out lies. My dad risked his life for a buck. The circus came to town on Tuesday, and Wednesday she couldn't be found. He was sweeping out cages, securing their wages, and Mama was sneaking around. Mama, don't tempt fate, and don't cross lines. Stand still in the way. Look out for the signs. It's better to get caught cheating, to confess while you're breathing, than to lie to a man who tames lives. Wednesday she came home weeping, with another man's hands in cheap wine. Mama started to cry when Dad let loose a lie. Neither had time for goodbyes. On Thursday the circus was buzzing. There's rumors of betrayal, there's murder on the ground. Though they all had their theory, the evidence was weary, 'cause neither the bodies were found. Mama, don't tempt fate, and don't cross lines. Stand still in the way. Look out for the signs. It's better to get caught cheating, to confess while you're breathing, than to lie to a man who takes lives. You see, my daddy, he knew all along. He was waiting, just biding his time. You see, while Mom was out sneaking with anything breathing, my daddy was starving the lives. My daddy was starving the lives. Are you there, Curtis?
Yes, I am here. Can you hear me okay? Yes. Can you see me?
Yes, I got you.
Ha, perfect. Okay. Thank you. First of all, round of applause. That was the first word that comes to my mind is soulful and connection for that song. It's a beautiful song. Thank you for sharing that with us, buddy. For the aspiring singer-songwriters out there who are young and who are wanting to go down the road of taking this making this as a career and taking it seriously, in the wearing the hat as a singer-songwriter as yourself, because even though you say that you haven't been doing it, you've been doing well. Even though you say you haven't been recording a lot of things, you've been writing a lot, and I think you have once said that there's an artist that we have, a local artist that we have here, Mike Zabo, that you have said he's a songwriter's songwriter, and as soon as I read that, I felt the same thing about you. I gotta have to share that with you. And so, what couple of tips would you have in your experiences, in your journey, in your opinion, that you would share with aspiring artists who are wanting to make this and do music as a full-time career?
Yeah, that's a great question, Curtis. Honestly, and I discovered most of this kind of recently and later on in my songwriting career, if you'll have it, is you need to share your music with people. You need to get out and play and test your material on people. But also, while you're doing that, you're going to figure out who your audience is, and that's going to help you in your songwriting. If you know kind of the audience that is drawn to your music, you can write for them, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Another thing that I would really suggest songwriters to do is to collaborate in a sense where you get together outside of the gig, outside of the show, and share your music with each other and give feedback. And I found this to be very productive and very encouraging and very inspiring to, just like any other meeting that you would have where you would share your thoughts and your experiences. As a songwriter, when you hear people's music and where it comes from and how they wrote it, that will take you on a whole nother journey. In my opinion, it will excel your maybe not your career, but your ability to launch yourself as a songwriter. Yeah, that's what I have to say for that.
I agree with you 100% on all of that, and I can certainly say that I have learned. I mean, just in this last year alone, for the two of us working together on three songs that I have presented to you, and I've had such a phenomenal time. If anybody would like to look to work with a producer, I highly recommend working with Curtis. You know what? He's definitely. And you know what I like about you as a producer, Curtis, is the fact that you look at it as a craft and as an art as well, and not just as I'm producing a song for somebody. You instantly put yourself in there as a creator and as an artist, and you put your 2 cents in, and you help what's best for the song. And I am honored to have had that touch of another bit of Curtis on a Curtis piece, if you will. Speaking of producing, my friend,
Yes.
why did you decide to step into this genre and to wear this hat heavier and to wear it with a lot more clout in this path? What made you decide to go into this and to work with you worked with so many great artists here in Central Alberta, and have expanded your educational expertise outside of our central region here in our small, close, tight-knit community in music? I want to know. I want to pick your brain. Why did you decide to do this, and what's in it for you?
Yeah. So recording and producing, I think it was a means for me to write songs. And if I can go back to that other question about aspiring songwriters, I would highly suggest that you learn how to record your own music it's such an incredible songwriting tool to be able to record. So that's kind of how it started for me. And then most of like my involvement in the music scene here in Red Deer in Alberta has always been just trying to create something. If it's a concert series or if it's like a standing gig or a songwriters collective, like what I was explaining before. I like to put these things together and kind of create community. So out of that, I started recording people, and I don't know if I ever intended to be a producer or, and I would say that I'm on a long road to becoming a producer and a better producer. But at the same time, I've been given great opportunity to work with really phenomenal artists and songwriters. And that's kind of my draw to it, is the community and working with songwriters. I recently just I started co-writing and writing for other artists, and that's got the ability to become my favorite part of this whole thing. It kind of encompasses everything that I love about music and community, is to sit down and write a song with someone, or to write a song for somebody and produce it for them. Like, I don't think anything is going to bring me more joy than that, and fulfillment.
Right. I know there have been a few times that it's interesting because I've done 3 songs with you. I've worked with you on my first one, Pawn in My Shade. Then we worked together with Family's Love, and we have an unreleased song yet that we're going back to the drawing board, and that's one of the really cool things about that I find working with you, because I've done 2 numbers with you already, is that we've now had a year, I suppose, since we've worked on with Pawn in My Shade and Family's Love. And we have Five Finger Dance that we've worked on. We were before we started the show tonight, we were I had brought to you, I was showing you another song, and we were talking about redoing the vocals on Five Finger Dance, simply because of that time spent apart, going off and educating and downloading and reprogramming everything that we learn in the industry, like you say, whether it be getting out and using recording as a tool, as an educational tool, and how we can become better, especially if we want to do it as a business. And I really truly say that we can do it as a hobby, and we can continue to do it as a hobby as 100%, but we can also choose to do it as a business. And that is I mean, for me, that's what I'm thinking. I'm very sorry. I have to break the fourth wall here. I had a technician in the back make me laugh, and I thought I could hold it, but I couldn't. Darn it! I'm sorry, Curtis. Yes. So back to seriousness. I really think that the year apart, and that's one of the things that I appreciate about you as a producer. So if you're getting that out of it, being a producer, I'm excited to then take what you're getting out of it and put it into what I'm doing, because that's reciprocity, I suppose, in the music industry, and how we can help each other. Am I right, or am I right?
Yeah, Curtis, you're really right, and you touched on something else about being a songwriter or a creator or a musician that I'd like to kind of speak on for a second. Another thing that I think is really important is to work with as many people as you can. And I don't mean like get out there till you're so busy that you can't keep track of things, but like you've done, we've done a few songs together, and you've worked with other producers, and you've worked with other musicians. And I think that's the best way to grow. And in the experience of other people, and having a vast amount of influence by different people. So yeah, working with other producers, working with other songwriters, I don't think there's anything more valuable than that. And I would definitely try to find a way to make that happen as a young singer-songwriter, or not so young singer-songwriter.
I have to touch on. I agree with you. I have to touch on that. You said those moments, and there are so many more of those little tiny moments. It's again, before we started the show tonight, having you as and yes, we're here at the Vinyl Den, ladies and gentlemen, and in order for we're helping out a gentleman in need tonight with technological strategies. Curtis is in the other half of the Vinyl Den here at the here at the studio.
They're not my records. They're not my records.
Those are the records of the Vinyl Den. Anyway, please come on down to the Vinyl Den, located on Ross Street, Red Deer, Alberta. Speaking of which, we'll talk about that later. No, where was I? Oh yes, the little minute things that are very exciting. So having you in the same room before we go on stage, before we go into the live show, 5 minutes before, here we are talking about recapturing those moments that we've had of education outside, working and collaborating with other people, because we haven't seen each other for some time other than, the last time that we worked together. So the rekindling, the rebonding, and all those moments are the ones that I really enjoy, is going, who have you worked with? What have you learned in the last little while? You can't pay for that. You can't put a price on that. And to me, those are the moments that I cherish and I walk away with. I think I hope I speak for a lot of sound mind musicians in the industry.
Yeah, I think you're right on there, Curtis. I think collaboration is
key in this industry. Thing. I agree 100%. Curtis, it's weird saying Curtis just for the people out there, because that's my name as well. This is a special show. Curtis and Curtis. If anybody got that melody from the Muppets Christmas Carol, that would be great. Tell me a habit you hate the most about other people.
Habit I hate the most about other people.
Or dislike. Let's use dislike. Hate is a harsh word. Let's use dislike.
Oh, man. I don't like when people talk with food in their mouth. That's a pet peeve of mine.
Okay.
Disgusted by that.
Perfect. Where was your these are just a couple of generic questions that I do like to keep. Where was your first who was your tell me the artist what's your favorite artist? Like, who's the artist that you are jiving right now that you go to on your Spotify playlist? First person that comes to mind. Go.
At this very moment, it would be John Moreland.
Okay.
From Oklahoma. Yeah.
Okay, and what about what was the name of who's the artist that you first heard when you were a child and you're like, yep, this is it, I love this got me hooked on music, I want to do this for the rest of my life? Well, you know what I mean, not for the rest of your life, but you get what I'm saying. Paul Simon, done. Tell me your favorite, tell me the artist that you turn off when you hear it on the radio and you're like, nope, can't do it.
Oh, man. I don't know. I listen to CKUA, so I don't turn off anything.
Oh, are you a spokesperson for them? How much you making on that, my friend?
I'm honest. Being honest.
Okay, being honest, good. What is well then that just messes up the next question.
No.
That's just okay. So then, tell me, what was your first concert? Who's the first concert you went to?
The very first concert that I went to was. This is for my buddy here at the Vinyl Den. It was the Wailers, actually. It was in grade 11. I went to the Wailers, and I took all of the exchange students because nobody else was into the Wailers, and it was an amazing experience. And I ran into my dad
there. When? I have no idea. Curtis, how much do you remember the first concert that you played?
It's like a songwriter?
No, you could have done covers or whatever. But yes,
How about the first gig? You want to know the first gig?
Yeah, first gig. How much did people pay for the first gig?
Not willingly, but they did. My first gig.
And how much money did you make?
My first gig was with a trio called Dallas Mavis. And it was a Christmas party at the Red Deer Lodge, and it was horrific. It was very bad, but we made them pay us anyways. Yeah.
My dear friend, it is time to serenade us into your second piece. Please, again, tell us a little bit about it. What's it called? Kind of when you wrote it, what's it about? And I will vacate the lovely conversation and leave it up to you. Technician, take me out.
Okay, so this next song that I wrote is called it's called Lily of the Valley, and this song started out as just like a songwriting. I don't know. I was just trying to use all the things we learned in English, like personification and alliteration. And it was more of a practice than anything, but it turned into a song that I quite like. It's the most recent song I've written, and it's about a woman. Like a northern wind, you're blowing through a January prairie. She keeps you frozen in a way, like a burden you can't carry. But you're not her only victim, you're not her only casualty. But it's no easier knowing you're part of a history. She's a lily of the valley with a tendency to cut and run. By the moonlight she's in full blue, by the morning she's gone. She's a lover and a leaver of a hopeful generation, of unburdened minds avoiding fixation. It's all she does, it's all she can. She'll never make an honest man, 'cause she's on the run with your heart. She'll leave you battered by the roadside in a broken car, alone to start. 'Cause she's on the run like a shooting star. She's with you for a moment until the trail falls apart. Like a thief in the night, she's in and out without a trace. Only proof of her passing is a heartache. You call out a name as if she exists, like a shot in the dark. You pray in your miss. It's all she does, it's all she can. She'll never make an honest man. She's on the run with your heart. She'll leave you battered by the roadside in a broken car, alone to start. 'Cause she's on the run like a shooting star. till the trail falls apart. She's a lily of the valley with a tendency to cut and run. Thank you, Curtis.
Awesome, dude. Absolutely awesome.
So
Can you catch the name? What was the name of that again?
Lily of the Valley.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, my friend, I have had such an amazing time having you here tonight as a guest on Chattin 88 at 8 with your host, moi. I have been wanting to get you on now for a while, and we made it happen. Our team here has been amazing, and I want to give a shout out to them. And again, thank you for coming into the studio today and gracing us with your presence. And we were able to accommodate. You are an absolutely amazing artist, Curtis. Is there anywhere that we can find you if somebody wanted to get a hold of you on social media or anything of the sorts for either producing, collaboration, to listen to your music, or to write with you? Where can people find you right now, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, as far as social media goes, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook, and it's just my name.
Yeah, as far as people want to find me, you can catch me on Instagram. It's just my name.
It's just my name. It's really easy, and I love to work with people, so that'd be great. I do have some shows coming up, playing at Bose next week, playing in Calgary at the Ironwood on Friday. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, you have. There's 4 of you, right? Who's the 4 of you, really quickly?
Yeah, so myself and Levi Cuss from Calgary, Ryan Homedal from Macomb, and Mike Zabo, actually. We've got a little songwriter collective called 4 Rooms, and I'm really excited about this show. This is actually my favorite way to perform, is with other songwriters in the round. And if you haven't been to one of those shows, I highly recommend it. It's a very entertaining evening.
I very much agree. CurtisPhagoo, ladies and gentlemen, Curtis Phagoo. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Leave us with one piece of advice, my friend.
One piece of advice: tell the truth. It's way easier. Way easier.
Hear that, folks? Tell the truth. It's way easier, and I absolutely agree. All right, Curtis, my friend, we're going to get you to bow out from your end, so you'll have to end your part of the meeting, and then we'll continue on here with the show.
I'll do that with no hands. No hands. I'm out of here.
No hands. Well, our team will take you out. Thank you so much, Curtis. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our host, me, Curtis, our guest, Curtis over there. What a special show for us tonight. It's been amazing. A couple of things I just want to end off tonight with, ladies and gentlemen. Here at the Vinyl Den, please make sure that if you are downtown in Red Deer, or if you have friends even across the country, we will mail these out to you, even if they don't ever want to come and shop here. We can still sell them. We have these lovely gift certificates. We have 25 and 50. These are 50s at the Vinyl Den here located in Red Deer, Alberta. If you are a local business in Red Deer, or even if you are located anywhere in the world and you would like to advertise with us, please make sure that you let us know if you want your business, your logo, or your product showing up on any of our shows, which is a residual marketing. It's absolutely amazing. Please give us an email at chattin88@8. That is that. Here's the advice for the day from Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde, ladies and gentlemen, everything in moderation, including moderation. Thank you for joining tonight. Just be glad I'm not a knight. Every single week we're right here. Just remember, it's fear. Oh, we just want to spend some time here on Chattin 88. That's great. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Curtis Labelle. Have a fabulous night. I love you. See you next week.